Hi there. Today we have a practice meant to help relieve stress, especially this time of the year. So it will be a little more of a grounding practice, a lot of stretching, a lot of focus on our breath. I suggest you have a couple of props, a blanket or something you can sit on. I'm actually going to sit on that right now. Maybe a block if you have a block. If you don't have a block, maybe just getting a pillow or maybe even a sofa cushion. And lastly, a strap. So we'll definitely need a strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a towel or a dog leash, anything like that. We'll get started in a seated position. Again, maybe sitting on your pillow or blanket. And sitting up tall. So letting the crown of the head reach high towards the sky. And then maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. Allowing the hands to rest wherever feels natural. We'll take a moment just to notice how you feel right now. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. Maybe the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. And if you do feel that you're holding any tension, see if you can soften around those areas of your body and see if you can release some of it. Bringing awareness to your breathing. Noticing the air as it enters in through the nostrils. And then notice it as it leaves. Start to deepen and lengthen the inhales. And deepen and lengthen the exhales. Breathing into the belly, into the chest. And exhale, letting it all out. As you practice this lengthening, see if with each inhale you can make it a little bit longer than the last one. Nice, even, slow, and controlled breath. After your next big inhale, I want you to see if you can make the exhale longer than the inhale. So maybe counting into yourself to see how long the inhale is. Maybe your inhale is a count of 3 or 4 or 5. And see if you can make that exhale just a little bit longer. So try that a few more times. When we elongate that exhale, we are triggering the parasympathetic nervous system. So letting your body know, letting your mind know that everything is okay, that you are safe. Try that a few more times. Last time, big inhale in. Exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. See if you can find that even rhythmic breathing again. If you want, slowly blink your eyes open if you close them, or you can still keep them closed. We'll start by dropping our right ear towards our right shoulder, stretching the side of our neck. If you want, maybe you take that right hand and it can lightly press against the left side of your head, stretching the neck a little bit more. If that hand touched your head, release it down to the ground. Inhale, lifting the head through center, pausing here just for a breath. And exhale, dropping left ear, left shoulder. If you want, you take that left hand, let it lightly rest on the right side of the head. Dropping the hand, lifting the head, pausing for a moment. Turn your gaze now over to the right. Bring your gaze back center and over to the left side. Looking back straight forward one more time, turn the head to the right, coming through center and over to the left. Back through center. Let's go ahead and bring the shoulders up by our ears and drop them down your back. A few more times. Shoulder rolls here. And pause and reverse the direction. Allowing the shoulders to rest. Let's grab our strap. Again, you can have a towel or just anything else that you can grab a hold onto. Placing it in your right hand, lift the right hand up. Go ahead and bend the elbow so the right elbow is up. Take the left hand, reach it behind you, grabbing for that strap. So I'll show you quickly what it looks like behind your back. So what we're trying to do is get the fingertips close together. And they probably can't touch, and that's why we have the strap. If they can touch together, maybe you get rid of the strap. Again, right elbow reaching high to the sky. Maybe your head, back of your head is pressing into the right arm. This may feel a little uncomfortable, feeling sensation maybe even in that right armpit, across the chest, in the shoulders. And we like to hunch and round most of the day if we're sitting at a computer or driving. So now what we're trying to do is counteract that. We're trying to open it all up. And that's why it may feel a little uncomfortable. One more big inhale. Exhale, release, and we'll switch sides. Placing the strap into the left hand. The left elbow is pointing up. Right hand grabs around, reaching for the strap. Yeah, maybe that head is pressing into the arm. And I said how it may feel a little uncomfortable. What we don't want is any pinching, stabbing kind of sensations. If it's just an uncomfortable stretch, like maybe you worked out too hard, that's totally fine. You can always back out of it if you need to back out. So maybe you don't stretch the hand down as far. Maybe you let the elbow come more out to the side. Again, just adjusting for what feels good in your body. One more inhale. Exhale, release, placing the strap over to the side for now. Arms down by your sides, starting with the palms facing up. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, moving slow like we're actually swimming in water. Let the palms face out, and then exhale, hands come all the way back down. Nice fluid movement. Flip the palms up. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, reaching it up. Flip the palms out. Exhale, bring it down. One more time. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, drop them down. Keeping the right hand where it is. Let's inhale, reach the left hand high. And exhale, bend over to the right side. Stretching the left side of your body. Keep the left hip down. If you started to lean, press it back into the ground. Don't lean down as far. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, drop the hand. Inhale, right hand reaches. Exhale, bending to the left side. Still using the breath. The even inhales and exhales, that's our yoga. It's not the movement as much as it is the breath. So even if you want to just sit here and breathe, you are doing yoga. Inhale, coming up. This time, let's twist. Twisting to the right. So the left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand is supporting you. It's on the ground behind you. You're lifting your chest. You're twisting to the right. Come back through center, twisting to the left side this time. Spine is long, crown of the head still reaching high to the sky. Come back through center. If you're sitting on something, a pillow or a blanket, we're going to go ahead and release that and come to our hands and knees. So I'm going to just set the blanket aside, finding that tabletop shape. So your fingertips are spread wide, palms pressing down into the mat. Your wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We'll start with some cows and cats. Inhale, drop the belly, your heart lifts up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round the spine like a Halloween cat. Dropping the belly, pull the shoulder blades together. Again, exhale, round the spine. Doing that a few more times. Using your breath to guide the movement. Last time. And find that flat back. Again, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's drop our hips over to the right side. And bring them back over the heels, over to the left, and back through center. So big hip circles. Do that again. Dropping to the right, over the heels, to the left, back through center. One more time this direction. Pause in that neutral tabletop and reverse, dropping them to the left side and back to the right and through center. Two more times. If you notice anything popping or cracking, that's normal. It's just starting to get into the joints, whether it's your hips or your knees, your shoulders. Coming back to center. Extend that right leg out behind you at hip height. Point and flex the foot. Maybe roll around the ankle. Bend the knee so the foot is reaching up towards the sky. And then inhale, lifting the chest up. Lift that leg a little bit higher. Squeeze that glute. And then exhale, extend the leg long. Keep the foot flexed and drop the ball of the foot down to the ground. Getting a little calf stretch here. You can hold it or maybe you rock it forward and back. Release the knee down. And we'll switch sides. Extend the left leg out, pointing and flexing. And rolling the ankle. Bend the knee, the foot is up. Your gaze lifts, your heart lifts. Lift that leg a little bit. Excuse me. Extend the leg long, dropping down onto the ball of the foot, holding here or rocking forward and backwards. Releasing the knee, tabletop one more time. Resetting the spine, taking a few cows and cats. And from that neutral tabletop, reach your right hand out to the side and up to the sky. Gaze up at your fingertips. Exhale, we're threading that right hand between the left wrist and left knee. Bring the back of the shoulder down. So the right shoulder is coming down towards the ground. Maybe your head rests. If you feel like you're hovering and you want to stick your blanket or pillow under your shoulder or head, you could do that too. Maybe the left hand walks away from you, stretching out the left side of the body while we stretch the right shoulder. If you extended the left hand, left arm, bring the hand under the shoulder, pressing yourself back up. Reach that right hand high to the sky and let it float down to the ground. One round of cow and cat. Flattening the back, we'll switch sides, taking the left arm out to the side, up to the sky. Again, follow the fingertips with your gaze if you can. Thread the hand through. Bring the back of the left shoulder down to the mat. Option to extend that right arm long. Right hand comes under the right shoulder, pressing yourself up. Come out the way you came in, reaching the arm up high. Let it land softly on the mat. One more time. Cow and cat. Neutral spine. Walk the hands forward to the front of the mat. You're still on the knees, dropping down the hips, dropping the belly, dropping the chest. We'll bring our forearms onto the mat. Palms pressing down into the ground. Your elbows are a little bit more forward than your shoulders. Lifting the chest up, drawing the shoulder blades together. You're gazing straight forward or a little bit down towards the ground. We want length in the neck. So we don't want to crunch all the little vertebrae in the neck. The tops of your thighs, tops of your feet, firmly pressing down into the ground. This is our Sphinx pose. Letting the belly soften. We're stretching out our low back here. Maybe you gaze over the right shoulder, back towards your toes. You probably won't see your toes, and that's okay. That's just the direction that we're headed. Looking back forward, and then taking the gaze around the left shoulder. Coming back through neutral, lowering your chest down, hands come under the shoulders, pressing up into tabletop. Bring the knees wide, big toes to touch. We'll shift back into a child's pose, arms extended long. Your forearms can rest on the ground, head can rest on the ground. Trying to just soften the hips, the knees. See if you can just release any tension. If your forehead's resting on the mat, maybe rock it side to side, getting a little forehead massage. If it's not comfortable to have your hips all the way back, you can have them up a little bit, or even up a lot with the hips directly over the knees. If you do that, extend the arms out longer in front of you. Let your chest drop down towards the ground. Let's inhale, rise up to that tabletop. We will tuck the toes under. We're not coming to downward facing dog yet. We're tucking the toes under. My pinky toe doesn't tuck on its own, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a little help. We're getting a toe stretch here, opening up through the bottoms of the feet, working those toes. So while we are here, let's get a little extra shoulder stretch. Take the right arm out in front of you, crossing it in front of your body. Left hand comes behind the tricep. See if you can squeeze it in. Those toes might start talking to you. If you need to sit it up a little bit to take pressure off the toes, you can always do that. Let's go ahead and switch. Take the left arm across your body, grabbing with the right hand. Toes are really talking now. One more big breath. Then letting it go, coming onto the hands and knees, untuck those toes. Maybe you stomp them out a little on the floor, stomp, stomp, stomp. Let that blood flow come back in. Let's tuck the toes and now send the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Our first upside down V shape. Maybe you bring the feet a little bit wider if that feels good. You can always bend both knees or maybe one knee and then the other. Let's all come high on the toes. Exhale, melt the heels down towards the ground. One more time, high on the toes. Melt the heels down. Bending the knees. Try to press your chest back towards the thighs. Then straighten the legs, keeping the chest where it's at. So we want more weight in our feet, not all in our arms and our hands. So that's why we're pressing our chest back a little bit, shifting the weight more into the lower body. Inhale, look between your thumbs. Exhale, step forward, as many steps as you need. So just take some little steps. Bringing your feet to the top of the mat. Let them come hips distance apart. Bending the knees. Maybe letting the chest relax on the thighs. Maybe your hands dangle. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and sway it side to side. Maybe shaking the head, yes and no. If you grabbed opposite elbows, allow the hands to drop down towards the ground. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins. Flatten the back, just like when we were in tabletop pose. Crown of the head reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. Exhale, soften the knees, fold forward. Inhale, stand tall, slowly rise up, arms reach all the way up overhead. Just like before when we were moving our arms, like we're swimming in water. Press the palms together. Hands come down to your heart. So we're standing at the top of our mat. Inhale, reaching the arms up high to the sky. Exhale, place those palms out. Go ahead and bring them down, slowly folding forward, bending the knees, hands towards the mat. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall again. Sweep the arms up high to the sky. Maybe you gaze up between the hands. Press the palms together. Bring them together down by your heart. One more time. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, flip the palms out. Bringing them down, slowly diving forward. Hands down towards the ground. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins. Lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Start by stepping your left foot back, dropping the back knee down so your right foot is forward. We'll rise up, placing your hands on the front thigh. Noticing sensation in that left hip flexor. If you don't feel any, go ahead and maybe move your knee a little bit further back on the mat. If it's too much of a stretch, bring it a little more forward. If you want, you can reach the arms up high. Firmly pressing the top of that left shin, top of the left foot, down into the mat. Notice if your shoulders are scrunching up by your ears. If so, see if you can maybe draw them away, maybe reach the arms a little bit wider. Let's drop the right arm down by our side and sweep it. Let it keep coming towards the back of the room while the left hand comes forward. Twist your chest over to the right side. So open twist here. Inhale, both arms reaching back overhead. Exhale, dropping both hands inside that right foot. And maybe you heel toe the right foot wider on the mat. We're coming into a lizard lunge. You can stay right here with your hands down on the ground. Maybe you bring the forearms to the ground. Maybe if you want to come somewhere in between, you take your pillow or take your blanket. Maybe you rest your forearms there. Or on a block if you have a block. This one's a little more of a deeper stretch. So use your even inhales and exhales, working through the stretch. Just a few more breaths here. If you came down onto your forearms, come back onto the hands. Maybe you heel toe the right foot back into the center, so you have one hand on either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee up, step the left foot forward to meet the right one. You're at the top of the mat now. Inhale, lifting halfway, hands slide up those shins. Exhale and fold. Inhale, stand tall, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, press the palms together, hands come to your heart. We have to do the other side. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead again. Exhale, flip the palms out and slowly folding forward, hands all the way to the mat. Inhale, hands slide up the shin. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the right foot back this time. Left foot's forward. Drop the knee down. If you did the other side before, no big deal. Just get both sides, evening out your body. Starting with the hands on the thigh. Checking in with that right hip flexor. Adjusting as needed. Maybe reaching the arms up. Checking in with the shoulders, so you need to bring them wider. You need to bring the hands wider. And dropping the left hand down, letting it travel towards the back of the room while the right hand travels forward. Your chest is turning to the left side. And sweeping both arms up overhead, looking up. Exhale, hands inside that left foot. Again, heel toeing the foot wide. Staying right here if this feels good. Or maybe coming down onto those forearms. Again, using a prop as you need a prop. I'll use my blanket. Bring my forearms down to my blanket. Noticing how you feel in the stretch. Noticing the hip. Maybe even noticing the extended leg behind you. So instead of letting your mind wander, see if you can be present with your sensations. just a little bit longer, knowing the shape is temporary. So working through the stress that you feel right now. If you came down onto those forearms, pressing onto the hands, setting any props aside. Heel toeing the left foot so it's in the middle of the mat. Lift the back knee up, stepping your foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, stand tall, arms reach all the way up. And exhale, pressing the palms together, allowing them come to heart center. Take a big step back with the left foot. We're turning towards the left side, so we're now facing the long edge of our mat. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, fold. Engaging your abdominals when you fold so you can fold with control. Hands come down towards the ground. Letting your head hang down. If you need to soften and bend the knees a little bit, soften and bend the knees. Maybe you shake the head. No. Maybe you nod it yes, back and forth. Let's walk our hands over towards the right foot. Maybe you bend into that right knee a little bit. And walk the hands through center and over to the left side. Again, maybe you bend the knee a little bit. Walk the hands through center. So your hands are under your shoulders. Pausing here. Let's take the right hand to the right hip. Maybe you twist your chest over towards the right side. So the left shoulder is down, right shoulder is up. If you want, maybe you extend the right arm up towards the sky. Again, just an option. If you need to keep those knees bent and soft, you can still keep those knees bent and soft. Release the right hand down. Left hand comes to the left hip. Start to twist. Again, left shoulder is up towards the sky. Left ribs up towards the sky. If you want to extend that left arm up, you can extend the arm up. Just an option though, you can always keep a hold of the hip if that feels better. And slowly release that hand down. Both hands are under your shoulders now. Inhale, lifting halfway, so lengthen the spine, maybe coming up onto your fingertips. Exhale and fold. Hands come onto your hips. Squeeze your belly together, reminding you to pull in the abdominals as you rise up. Nice job. Let's go ahead and turn our toes to the top of our mat and simply step forward to the top of our mat. Hands are at heart center one more time. Let's stretch those arms up one last time. Exhale, palms turn out. Go ahead and start to bring them down while you fold forward. Hands down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant those hands, stepping your feet all the way back. Send those hips high, downward facing dog. One more downward facing dog here. Hips are pressing up and back. Upside down V shape with your body. Maybe you walk the dog, bending one knee and then the other. Let's all drop down onto the knees. We'll transition to a seated position, letting your hips fall to one side. Extend the legs out long in front of you. Maybe you get your props. I'm grabbing my strap. And maybe you grab your blanket or your pillow to sit on. So sitting up tall, notice how your low back feels. If you feel like you're starting to round, so here, if you feel like you're starting to round, I want you to sit on your blanket, your pillow, whatever it might be. We want the spine to be lifted, and you want the pelvis to tilt just a little bit more forward so you don't have that pressure on your low back. So I'm going to sit on my blanket so that I don't have to worry about that. So sitting up on the blanket, extending your legs out long. Maybe you take the strap around the bottoms of your feet. So I'm going to bend my knees, reach the strap around my feet. Just an option. You don't have to use the strap if you don't want. Sitting up tall, start to fold forward. I'm going to let my hands kind of just move down the strap so I have a better grip. If you need to bend the knees a little bit, you can bend the knees. This is a big one on the hamstrings. And once you've gone as far as you can go, maybe you round the spine. Let the head hang down just a little bit. And slowly come back up. Removing the strap just for a moment. Keeping the right leg extended. Bring that left foot in so that it touches somewhere on the side of the right leg. So maybe it's up at the thigh, maybe it's down in the calf. Whatever feels right. Sitting up tall again. Maybe you reach the arms up, and we'll fold one more time. You can use the strap here if you want. I think this is a little bit easier, so I don't need the strap for this one. And slowly rise up, keeping the right leg extended. The left foot comes flat, so the left knee is pointing up this time. Left hand comes behind you. Take the right arm, just wrap it around that left leg. While you do that, twist towards the left side, so chest stays lifted, top of the head still reaching up high. Using that left arm behind you as an anchor, so it's helping to keep you up. Still flex that right foot, so we want the leg to be active. Gazing forward, unwinding, extend the left leg out long. This time we'll bend the right knee so the right foot lands somewhere on the side of the left leg. Sitting up tall again, reaching the arms up. And fold forward, hinging at the hips, letting the hands come as far as they can. And once you've gone as far as you feel comfortable, you can round the spine, let that head hang down. Again, softening the knee if you need to soften the knee. It's still a big hamstring stretch. Sitting back tall, flattening the right foot so the knee is pointed up. Right hand behind you, left arm wraps around that leg. Keeping the chest lifted. Keeping that extended leg, that left foot flexed. Every time you exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Just notice what your body's telling you. Release the twist, coming back forward, extending that right leg long. We'll bring both feet wide, so wide-legged seated position. So we did this standing, now we'll do it seated. Taking the fingertips again, sitting up tall, and walk the fingertips away from your body. Stopping whenever your body says it's right to stop. Maybe your forearms come down to the ground. If you're flexible, maybe your chest is even touching the ground. Knowing that most of our stress doesn't have to deal with what's happening to us in this moment. It's either us worrying about what may happen or may not happen in the future, or ruminating about something that happened in the past that we're not happy about or disappointed us. So if we come back to what's happening to ourselves in this moment, that can also help to relieve that stress. Knowing that right now, everything is okay. I am okay. And there isn't anything in this moment in time that I should be stressed about, except maybe that stretch on your legs. We'll hold this here for a few more breaths. I know holding this one a little bit longer. Walk the hands back in towards your body. Bring the legs back together. Maybe you shake it out, bending the knees. If you're sitting on something, go ahead and set the prop aside, allowing the feet to come flat. We're going to roll down onto our backs. Make sure you have the strap handy. I also want my block for this next little series. So having whatever props you need handy, rolling down onto your back. Drawing one knee in and then the other. Taking little rocks side to side. Planting both feet on the ground, grabbing for that strap. Take the strap around the bottom of the right foot. Extend the right leg up to the sky. That left leg can stay where it's at. If you want, maybe you straighten it out. Getting a little bit of a hip flexor stretch at the same time. Allowing the head and shoulders to relax down on the ground. If you want, if you have a strap versus a towel, if you have a strap or even a dog leash, maybe you start to move the strap side to side. It's working on that circulation in your foot. And you can move the strap all the way down towards the heel, slowly back up through the arch, up to the ball of your feet, maybe even up to the toes. Just be careful so that the strap doesn't fling off onto your face. If you don't like the sensation, then just don't do it. Just hold the leg up. And once the strap comes back towards the center, pausing for a moment, placing both straps into the right hand, we're going to let that leg open to the right side. Go just as far as feels natural or comfortable. If your leg starts to shake, then you maybe let it go down too far and bring it up just a little bit. And you don't want that right arm to be working really hard to keep the leg lifted. We won't hold this one as long. Let's slowly bring it up. One strap in each hand again. This time we're crossing it over to the left. I want both hips to stay down. So if that right hip starts to pop up, again, you went too far. We're focused on the IT band, which is the outside of that right leg. So maybe you bring those right toes a little bit more, pointing towards the left shoulder. It's not a big movement, but you'll start to feel that, like I said, all the way down the outside of that right leg. Breathing. This is another intense stretch. Placing both straps now into the left hand, we will take the twist all the way to the left side. So letting that right hip pop up as much as it wants to. Maybe the foot comes down to the ground, maybe it doesn't, maybe it hovers. And maybe you bring the right arm out as a little counterbalance. Let that right leg come all the way back to the sky. If you straighten the left, go ahead and rebend so the foot is flat. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Set the strap or towel aside for a moment. Coming into this figure 4 stretch. You can keep it right here, or maybe you draw that knee up in towards the chest. So left knee in towards the chest. Head and shoulders still on the ground. We're not reaching up like this. We want the upper body to just relax and soften. If you brought that left knee in, let the left foot lightly land. Uncross so the right foot is on the ground. Grabbing for the strap again, placing it around the bottom of the left foot this time. Left foot extends high to the sky. Right foot can stay where it is, or maybe it just slides out long, extending the leg. And then if you wanted to try to move that strap side to side, working on the circulation in the foot. Staying present to the sensations in your body. If your mind starts to wander, see if you can bring it back. Bring it back to where you're at right now. Allowing the strap or towel to come to stillness, and placing the towel or strap into your left hand, letting that leg fall open to the left side. Bringing it back up. One strap in each hand. Keeping that left hip down, crossing it over to the right just a little bit. Again, maybe you bring the toes more towards that right shoulder, getting that stretch along the outer left side of the leg. We're still breathing, so we don't want to hold our breath when we hold the challenging stretches. Both straps go into the right hand. Allow that left foot to come all the way down towards the ground, wherever is comfortable, extending that left arm maybe as a counterbalance. Use your abdominals to pull that leg back up towards the ceiling. Right foot comes flat. Remove the strap. The left ankle is crossing over the right thigh. Maybe you stay right here, so noticing the sensations on that left hip, the outside of that left hip. If you want more, drawing the right knee in towards the chest. Again, head is not lifted. We're keeping the head down on the ground. If you brought the right knee in towards your chest, let that foot land. Uncross the ankle. Both feet are flat again. Let's hug both knees in. Rock it side to side, just for a moment. Letting both feet come flat. If you have a block or even maybe the pillow or your blanket, you want to lift the hips up. Go ahead and slip whatever you have onto the low back, really that lower sacral area, and let the sacrum rest there. If you have a thinner pillow, maybe fold the pillow up and then allow the hips to rest there as well. If you want this to be more active, you could always press the hips up without any support, but I'd like the support. If you're not using a support, lower yourself down. Pause for a moment. If your hips are up on a block or a pillow or a blanket, just stay there. If you are not using a support, bring the heels a little bit closer to your glutes, palms pressing down into the mat, and press those hips up again one more time. We'll just do it twice. Those without props, lowering the hips down, maybe bringing the feet wide, let the knees touch together. For those of us on props, lifting the hips up gently, just so you can push the prop aside. Lowering the hips down, and then you bring the feet wide, knees to touch as well. Option 2, windshield wiper the legs if you want the knees to fall to one side and then the next. We'll all bring one knee into the chest and then the other. We'll rock it side to side. Bringing the knees closer into the armpits. See if you can reach down for the outside blades of the feet. If not, maybe you're holding on to the ankles, and let the bottoms of the feet point up towards the sky. Happy baby pose. Shoulders and head still on the ground. You can rock it side to side if you'd like to rock. If you don't feel like rocking, you can stay right here. Maybe you wiggle the toes. If there are any other shapes you would like before your Shavasana, go ahead and take them now. And when you're ready, squeezing your knees in one last time. Extend the legs out long, bringing your feet wide. Let the toes fall to the sides. Arms are down by your sides, palms facing up. Noticing the mat supporting the weight of your body. Feeling the back of your head, your shoulders, your arms, your back, your glutes, your legs, all being supported by the mat. See if you can soften any tension you're holding in your body. And now allow yourself to enjoy the next few minutes of rest. Slowly bring some awareness back to your body. Inviting small movements into your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles, arms and your legs. Reaching your arms up overhead, full body stretch. And draw one knee in towards your chest and then the other. And rolling onto your favorite side, pausing for a moment, using your arm as a pillow for your head. When you're ready, pressing yourself up to a seated position. Eyes can be closed, or maybe you just soften your gaze. Allowing your hands to rest on your knees, palms face up to receive energy, or maybe palms face down to feel a little more grounded. And observing one last time how your body feels in this moment. Noticing a sense of calm. Knowing that you can use your breath at any point in time to return to this state. And bringing our hands together at heart center, thumb knuckles pressed in towards your chest. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to guide you through your practice. The light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. We bring our hands up to third eye center and bow to one another. Namaste.